Hello and welcome to the 9th We Make It Happen podcast, a podcast designed for people within the event and entertainment industry, delving into the funny and maybe the not so funny aspects of all our lives. Hello to you, Christy.
And hello to you, Callum.
Hello to...
Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
You've said your own name.
I know. So, hello.
We welcome a wonderful guest with us today. You may have noticed that we're not in Mallorca, unfortunately, this week.
Honey, we're home.
We are home. We're back in the studio, back in Podcast Centre, Podcast HQ.
Costa de Sheffield.
Costa de Sheffield. Do you know, I don't think anyone actually knows that we do this in Sheffield. I think we've maybe not mentioned it, or at least maybe mentioned it only once or twice.
I knew you were based in Sheffield, so I kind of just assumed it was in Sheffield. Maybe.
Well, yeah, you would know that.
Yes.
But that's because you know me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Earlier, before we started the podcast, Callum was like, have we discussed this? Have we discussed that? And Joe was like, yes, you have. It was episode 3.
Yep.
Yes, you have. It was episode 7.
Big fan. I do a lot of driving, so it's,
Well, that's lovely, because Jess had no idea where she could even find us in Mallorca.
No, exactly.
She was like, oh, it's going to be on YouTube. Yes, Jess, yes. Pretend that you listen, please.
A quick thank you, by the way, to all those that have listened and commented about our last podcast. It seemed to be well received, which is good because it was a hell of a lot of effort to do it.
And money. And time.
So
and stress.
much money. And so much stress. Yes. But today we are joined by saxophonist and founder of the Creative Meetup, Joe Reeve.
Woo!
Hello.
Hello.
We are going to talk about you, what you do as we crack on. More info about the Creative Meetup, which I'm very excited to talk about. But for now, as customary for every podcast, we start with our weekly podcast check-in. It's not weekly because we don't do this every week, so it's more like
bi-weekly, tri-weekly.
Yes, whenever we can.
Not monthly yet. We need to get better.
No, not monthly. No, it's shorter than monthly.
That's what I'm saying. Not monthly yet.
Oh yeah, no, we don't want it to be monthly.
No, I know, but we need to get our asses into gear and sort ourselves out, don't we?
So let's start with our guest, Joe Reeve.
Hey.
How are you feeling? Are you on the love? Are you on the I hate my job?
And this is strictly now, not for
Yes.
the entire duration, like this week or last 2 wees.
As I always say, we're very lucky to do our jobs, but sometimes we just wanna
Scream.
Do you want to scream, Joe?
No, I don't want to scream. No,
Good, because that would really throw out our levels.
No, and I don't think I can scream. I don't think my octave level can go that high. So, yeah. No, love it. Love my job. I always say, like, I always will love doing this, but I think you do have those moments where you're like, oh God, I can't be bothered. But I always say, like, I used to have a great aunt saying, Joe, you've got to have a bit of, sorry, I'm going to swear, shit to enjoy it. Because if you don't have a bit of shit, you don't appreciate the good times. Because
100%.
I think if it's always good, then you just take it for granted. And so in a way, I'm kind of grateful for those moments where it's like, oh God, like I get to a venue, oh, it's got a sound limiter. Oh, the bridesmaids or groomsmen won't leave me alone. Oh, it's just like, so in a way it's just like, but then when it's really good, you really appreciate it. Like, it's like, oh, this is great. So
That's
just,
true.
100%. The number of times I can't be bothered to go to a gig and like, all my friends are either like winding down and putting, got my dressing gown on to watch a movie, or they're all out at the pub in the beer garden. It's like 9-10 p.m. and I'm putting on my wall paint to then get in the car and drive an hour. And I'm like, oh.
But also, if everything's good, your understanding of what bad is slightly deluded.
Yeah, exactly.
Your idea of bad is having 10 minutes to set up, which is like, yeah, you still got time to set up though. Whereas like someone else's idea of really bad is like, I'm half an hour late due to a crash on the M1.
I know. Well, I was talking to someone that I say, like, when you're younger, you have nightmares, and your nightmares are usually like boogeyman in the closet or something under your bed. My nightmares now is forgetting my saxophone, or I'm in a traffic jam.
Road closure.
Those are my nightmares now. Those are the things I dream about.
I frequently call my other half as I'm on the way to a gig, going, "Can you just make sure that my saxophone isn't in the living room?" Or I pull into a service just to jump out my car, just to make sure that I've got all 3 cases.
Life hack, honestly, changed everything, because I normally take 6 bags with me to like an agency gig, and then when I'm taking my lights, it's like 8 bags. I've put an AirTag on every single bag.
Oh, yeah.
So then whilst you're driving along, pull it over. I don't recommend do this whilst you're driving. But yeah, you can just go on to like find my items and you can see that everything's travelling with you.
But if I have to pull over to do that in the same time, I could have just got out my car.
True. But then equally, if you ever leave a venue, it'll pop up saying, "Oh, you've left behind your bongos," and it gives you a notification.
I keep getting that now on my phone. Every single time I leave the house, it goes, "You've left your Mac behind," and I'm like, "Yeah, because I don't need it."
No, but you can change that.
Yeah, no, I get it. So if I'm out and about, I get that with my AirPods, but I never do when I leave my AirPods in the house. I don't know whether it's because it's near I'm Appled up to the nines, so I've got
same.
Macintosh, MacBook, AirPods. So I feel because it's close to another Apple, one of my other devices, it doesn't. It's only when I'm like in the gym or if I'm out shopping. So if I go to the shops and I leave it in my car, oh, you've left it. I know I've left it behind. It's like
it's a setting that you can do to not notify you when you leave it at a certain place.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to. It's only just started doing this, so I'm gonna have to look at that.
Would highly recommend.
Thank you. Let's go back into.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know how we ended up there. Very quickly
easily
swifting
done. Easily
to.
done. Yeah. So, but no, yeah, loving it. I found out last week I've been nominated for the Manchester Young Talent Awards in the marketing and creative categories.
Give that man an applause.
Yeah, so I've been, but then I found.
I'm going to do that again, actually, so we can hear it again because it's so magnificent.
So I've been nominated for that, but then I found out I'm not actually here for the awards. I'm away in Dubai on holiday. So I know. So, but I think I've got a friend of mine going. So I'll just say, can you just accept it on my behalf if I can't go? So it's. But I thought that's just typical because I just thought I nominated, and then I looked at I got the email through. And the awards is in November, and I'm like, oh, I'm on holiday then. I was like, oh, God.
It could be worse though.
Yeah, yeah, it could be worse.
Could be working.
Yeah, exactly. I could be.
Or you could not be on holiday or not be nominated. So out of all of it, you've been nominated and you're in Dubai.
Yeah,
Sounds
exactly.
pretty goddamn good to me.
Yeah, it's good. But no, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it right now. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Amazing. Callum, are you loving or loathing, darling?
I'm on a love. I feel like I'm going to end up talking a little bit longer than you, Joe, about this. Because it's been a few weeks since our podcast. Yes. But I've got nothing really to complain about. I'm tired. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Right here, right this moment, I'm actually feeling refreshed because I got some good sleep last night. But I've had to completely change my sleep routine. I would say that arguably I didn't really have one to begin with because obviously doing gigs means we get back home at like 3-4 in the morning. Then we have to unwind to get ourselves calm so that we actually manage to sleep. And I have to sneak around the house as well so I don't wake up a little one. Or the other half, and I'm going to be in a lot of trouble if I wake up either.
God forbid, both.
But what's been happening is the little one's been waking up a lot earlier than he used to, and I've been getting to sleep a lot later. So I've been having like 4 hours sleep, and then I've been trying to do these gigs that have really late end times, and it's just not working, and I'm really, really struggling more than ever before getting home at the moment, and I'm really worried. So every single time I feel tired, I put on the We Make It Happen podcast, get out my car and do Star Jobs.
Yes, you do.
But yeah, so now, as of yesterday, I've decided that I'm going to bed during the week when I don't have a gig at 10 o'clock at night, and waking up before my son. So I wake him up because currently what's happening is he's waking me up, and I just feel like that's not fair. So I want to wake him up and be like, it's time to start the day. Hello, world.
But are you then surely not contributing to this early rising?
Well, so this is the thing, right? So I think it's just the amount of sleep I'm having is just poor. So I'm thinking, well, I need to get to bed earlier so I could just have more sleep. And then when it comes to the weekend, when I have late night gigs, obviously I'm not going to be able to get up in the morning at the same time as him. And that's where the other half comes into play because we're a team. So my other half's a singer, Josie, she's a singer, but her gigs are often earlier than mine. Hers are usually in the afternoon, and mine are in the very late depths of the evening, early hours of the morning. So I'm thinking that's how we get around this situation. I'm hoping it's going to work. There's probably experienced parents listening who are probably laughing at me thinking I'm naive because that ain't going to work. But we'll soon find out. But yeah, other than that, it's fine. I mean, I did have a difficult gig this weekend where just no one was interested in house music at all or dance music. And they just wanted party stuff that was like Come On Eileen and ABBA and every single time that I kind of walked out to play, I thought it was me at first because people disappeared, but then the DJ just played dance music without me and people were still disappearing. So I was like, okay, I can breathe. I'm not the issue. Yeah. The music is the issue. So that gets you down. But then when you have a great gig after, which I did, we had a gig after, and just seeing you was great. So
Thank you very much.
Made me feel positive and ready to take on the world. Yeah.
Oh my God. I might just say that again and I'll set it as my ringtone. Thank you so much.
I did a gig with an agency I hadn't worked with in ages and it went really well. So that was a high as well. And then I did a bar gig, which was also really good, but made me just enjoy the club industry more and more because as you'll see in front of you, and you will see on the screen now if you're watching, there is a picture of what I stumbled across in a bathroom, which is basically... Now, if you understand this, please write in at We Make It Happen podcast
at gmail.com
or on the Instagram page. Essentially, by the sink was a box of Purina Pro Plan 40 Flora K9 Probiotic. And there was a big box of it. So I thought, as the manager thought when I told them, is this just a way to get... Do you sniff it? Do you get high from it? Is because I know like people take like ketamine and stuff, don't they? And I thought maybe this is something to do. But then I Googled it. I even went as far as the dark Reddit to have a look to see maybe this is something that people do. Nothing. Couldn't find a single thing to do with it. So I was like, somebody just had it in their pocket and then thought, I'll put it on. Wouldn't you just put it in the bin? What? I don't get it.
My head goes, some weirdo's trying to cut something with that and make more money.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe inside the packet isn't probiotic and it's something else. But it's...
Well, you should have taken that because there's a gold mine there.
I don't know how much it costs.
Street value.
Making a pet shop.
Street value.
So yeah, that was a bit strange. And then I did a surprise wedding on Monday night. Well, it wasn't a surprise for me because I knew it was going to happen, but it was a surprise for the bride. And I had to really kind of hide myself as I was going in because I knew that she'd seen me previously at a wedding fair. And I didn't want her to spot me. So the bride didn't know? But the bride didn't know, and the groom had booked it as a surprise.
Oh, cute.
Which was really nice, really cute. But I was like, I don't know how I can not be spotted here. And then I had an issue with a cable, and I had to be kind of in the bride's way almost, trying to and she was just there seeing me the whole time, but apparently she just didn't even put two and two together. She just thought I was with the DJ.
They won't sometimes, because this year for me I've been a surprise nearly majority of my weddings. 2025 has been the year I've been a surprise. Like when I did last night, she bride came up saying, I've not told anyone you're here or you're coming. Or last week I was doing with my friend Stephen Madison. Do you know Stephen?
Yes, I met him at TWIA.
Yes,
I've never actually worked together.
He's my fiance Hannah calls him my work husband because we work together that much.
Cute.
So because he'll speak to the bride and then he'll just tell me like oh yeah, you're going to be a surprise and stuff. And I said, God, that seems to be like the theme for this year. And he goes, no, it's just because you're an Arsenal fan. They're just too embarrassed to admit they've booked you. I was like, ouch. So, well, but yeah.
I had a gig last night and I was supposed to be a surprise, but I didn't know that I was meant to be a surprise because it was through an agency. They didn't tell me. They just said we're starting halfway through the first dance because it's going from this like beautiful romantic song into Let's Get Loud by J-Lo. So I thought, okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. And then we spoke to the groom, and the groom was like, yeah, you're a surprise. And I turned around and saw my sparkling, glittery drum kit that I've just set up in the middle of the floor whilst all the gets are walking in. And I was like, so how do I do this then? He was like, oh, you just go hide in the back, leave the kit there. And I was like, but how, what? Like, I need like my kit on wheels so I can just wheel it in or something.
But also they're going to have seen the kit.
That's what I mean, yeah. So he was like, yeah, you're a surprise, just leave the kit there. And I was like,
It's amazing how some people just don't put two and two together. They just think it's an ornament sometimes. It's just like, yeah.
That's quite funny. Do you know what? Actually, I think you're right. I think they're so oblivious because they're just maybe like, obviously it's their wedding, so they've had loads to think about, or they're drunk.
Yeah.
There's love letters, there's flowers, there's everything everywhere. So they're just like, oh, more decorations.
The bride's parents did spot me, but they were like, we just said nothing. So yes, we recognised you instantly, and we thought something's going on here. And I just said, well, you know, if anyone was going to kind of come up to me and say, aren't you the sax player? I said I'd just come up with like, oh, no, not today. I'm working with the DJ or whatever.
Yeah, DJ's helper, DJ's little helper.
DJ's little helper, little elf.
Yeah.
Little elf.
Little elf. What about you, Christy? Love.
I am... It's a bit of a mixture of both, really. I've had some really good gigs, but I've also had some really rubbish DJs. And I'm not going to say which, because some of them have been really good, and you know who you are if you're really good. And hopefully if you were rubbish, you don't listen to this podcast. But I feel like the calibre has just gone down recently.
Yeah, but
I don't mean to do a hot take.
How recent do you mean, though?
Like, this year.
Okay, but you know...
Last few months.
I'm going to interject here with that thought, because I reckon a DJ's thought is maybe the calibre of musicians has also gone down. And I wonder if it's because we're in such high demand that there just needs to be a DJ and a musician everywhere.
Yep. I think a lot of people realise that actually it's quite a lucrative job, and they think, well, that looks like fun. I'll just pick up a saxophone for 80 quid second hand, or some bongos, or just like a DJ deck. And then...
I've blown into a straw. I'm sure I could blow into a sax.
Exactly.
That does seem... Especially after COVID, I've noticed a few sort of like... Yeah, but some of them honestly, I've only just started playing and stuff, and I'm like... Definitely shows, definitely.
But I know, but just get a bit more experience before you then suddenly say, yes, I can perform amazingly at your wedding.
Yeah. It's the old ones for me. It's the ones, I've been in the game 25 years.
I've been mobile discoing.
It's God. Like, oh, mate, you've literally just done Spotify.
Literally. I was at a wedding recently where I sent my playlist over, and the DJ was like, oh, well, there's some songs on here aren't really house. There's a bit of a mixture on here. And I was like, well, not necessarily. It's all songs that work at weddings. And he was like, yeah, but I Want to Dance with Somebody isn't really house. So I was like, okay, well, then let's just go with the house stuff. And he was like, oh, so should we just start from here then? I was like, what do you mean start from here? And he was like, well, I'm just going to play them all in order. And I was like, well, it doesn't have to be in an order. It's just a random list of songs. I know, but I've organised them all by BPM, and the only way that I can mix is like to put them in order, and then we'll just gradually speed the tempo up throughout the night.
Yeah. I've had that before, and when someone comes in and they're like, oh, can I request a song? No, sorry, it won't go in my order.
Yeah, it's not in order, babe. I'm so sorry.
I've already gone past that tempo.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. And even then he wasn't mixing well. Yeah. And I've had other people who are like, they just... Oh, I had someone say, do you mix? Because I have got a pre-mix if you don't, whatever you feel comfortable with. Oh, I don't do any of that mixing bollocks, I just play. And I was like, right, is this going to be... This is either going to be you're going to smash it, because I just play, I just feel it, and he didn't. He didn't at all. It was
I'd be a bit creeped out.
No, I was creeped out because he kept staring at my chest. There's not much there to look at, but he was trying to goddamn find it. It was ridiculous. He was just such a perv.
Eyes
and
up
he
here,
couldn't
mate.
DJ
Eyes
or anything. I know.
Yeah.
They've all just been, not all of them, but a lot of them have just been rubbish. And I think it was just because people think they can try and get into it now.
Yeah.
Without much experience, and everyone just just thinks it's easy because
Oh yeah.
we make it look easy.
Yeah.
Well,
It's an acting job, like
I,
you say.
I say to people, yeah, I've been doing this since I was 6. I'm 31 now, so yeah, it takes time.
It does take time, but also with that, and I think this is something that I know about you anyway, is that you know what's going on the outside world around you. So you're not in this bubble that some people seem to be in, where they think they are the best because they don't know what's around them.
Yeah.
And someone who's been at it for 25 years, I mean, I've been playing for 20 years, but we've been doing this in this industry, you know, for maybe 10 or you know, or just over 10 years, but we know what's around us, and we know that we're not going to go in with like 30-year-old technology thinking that we are top dog, which I have to, there are many brilliant DJs, but there are some of you, you're just,
If you think any of this applies to you, with love and respect, learn how to mix.
Yeah, it's and that's the thing, the difference between wedding DJs and club DJs. There are many club DJs that are going into the wedding industry at the moment, and they're smashing the wedding industry because they're coming from that background of really understanding their gear, their
music trends,
pinnacle of their skill.
Can read a room, like because I did one where I was literally just sort of playing. Again, I give like a sample set list. It's not in any particular order. It's just like, I said, look, this just to give you an idea of what I do, but we'll just go with the vibe of the night. And the first set, there was just, it was all right. It started off well, and then people were just sort of, there was a lot going on as well, but like there was just an empty dance floor. And then he decided to play the Swedish House Mafia banger, which is, I have played along to, but I'm just thinking, there's no one on the dance floor. This is just so not appropriate for this. I'm just like, this is more later on, and but again, it's just, you kind of got to just roll with it sometimes, but I know what you mean. It's just like,
I think the perspective from the DJ's point of view for musicians is quite similar, so I'm sure there's probably some DJs here that's like, but I've played with some musicians, and
we're biased because there's 2 saxes and a percussionist on here, so
I played with a DJ recently, and he said, I will quote pretty much word for word, "Oh yeah, I know you guys. You just play over all the same old shite, don't you?" And I was like, no. I mean, I wouldn't try and say that we all do the same thing. And after the gig, he said, "Oh, actually, you are a bit different." Hey. I was like, I mean, I'll take that, thank you. But I was like, but we're all a bit different. Yeah. We're not the same. And it's the same with DJs. You're all a bit different, and you're all different in skill, just as we are as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I interrupted your love and loathe a lot.
No, it was a good little
segue.
Absolutely hating on DJs. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, rant over about DJs. We do love many of you.
Hot take done. I've also seen a lot of brides' underwear recently.
Nice.
Same.
Like, honestly, I see more underwear from a bride than anyone else in my life.
I try not look. I don't look.
It's very impossible not to look.
It's just, exactly.
It's impossible not to look. Yeah. So, me and Callum did one this weekend, and obviously I could tell that she was a dancer, because you know when they have that certain way of dancing, like a club dance, and they kind of go and it's all like moving in time with the so she was doing all this, and the eye contact, I was like getting a bit hot and flustered by this woman, because I swear she was flirting with me. She was stunning. I am joking, obviously. She was very happily married. But honestly, she had that like club dancer beauty around her. And then we put on this like quite deep house song, and she strutted over to this archway with, you know, where it said like her name in lights, her last name in lights. And every time I hit a cymbal, she's going, doing all these like cool moves. And then she lifts her leg up, so it's like her knee is like, you know, bent in front of her. And then on the chorus, she does completely can kicks. Me and Callum get an eyeful. Callum's eyes are like darting everywhere, every which way but the bride. She then drops into the splits and is like holding her leg whilst like alligator rolling across in this like nude thong with this white dress on. I mean, she looked fantastic. Kudos to her. And Callum was like, let's film. Let's not film.
No.
It would have been such a good moment to capture, but you couldn't.
Film as she started doing all of this dancing before we saw her knickers, and then I just took out my camera, got an eyeful, and was like, let me just put that back. No.
I turned around and Callum was just facing the wall at one point.
It was a beautiful walk.
Oh, it was so funny. And then I've also had another bride where, do you remember when you were younger and you used to do those, what were they called? Teddy bear rolls, where you all kind of sit on the floor with your legs apart and then you roll onto your back and you roll back round.
Yes.
I had some bride and bridesmaids doing that.
Nice.
Underwear akimbo. Yeah. And then I had this private booking recently, and I am in love with this woman. And before I went on, like, the food came out, so I kind of said, like, I'm just going to... I might just delay it maybe 10, 15 minutes because we didn't know that the food was coming out when I was just going to start. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. Honestly, I wish that you met me before because I'm a bit drunk now. And I was like, you're allowed to be a bit drunk. I'm just so hot. I've even taken my knickers up by this point. I can't even... and I was like, right, okay. And then she was like, yeah, I took them off and then I realised I had to do the first dance. So I ended up doing my first dance commando. And I didn't really think that was the best way of going into your marriage, but actually it might be the best way of going into your marriage. And I was just there like, mm-hmm. And she was like, I don't know why I'm telling you all of this.
Because you're drunk.
I was like, I don't know either, but she was so funny. And then when I started, because obviously the dresses are so long, she wanted to dance. So she was like picking a dress up to like pop a dance with it. And all I could think of was that no one knows this woman's commando. And I had to keep trying to like remind her, like, put your dress down, love. Because otherwise everyone would have gotten an eyeful. She was just loving life. But I feel like brides flash so much unintentionally, but it's just because their dresses are so big.
Yeah.
They can't move without lifting them.
But there was a guest just the other few days ago as well. I did another wedding, and they were facing the DJ booth as both the DJ and I were trying to read the room because he was trying to predict kind of what music I should go on to because I hadn't even started. And she kept smiling at us and then lifting her dress, dancing. And we weren't sure whether she was either trying to flirt or just so drunk or what was going on. But he was like, I'm trying to read the room and all I can see is her underwear.
Yeah, very off-putting. Yeah.
All inhibitions just go out the window at a wedding, don't they? It's so funny.
Cartwheels galore. You literally see it. I'm like, oh God, I shouldn't have seen that. Should not have seen that. Oh.
Wearing virginal white with like a thong to the sky. You're like, okay.
Any more to add on your love and loathe?
Not really. I mean, on the love side, the majority, I'd say like 80% of my bookings at the moment are private, which is the first time ever. Not agency work, so I'm really chuffed with that. But it does also mean I've got an awful lot of driving. But I did have a little bit of a blowout because I went to Leeds Pride and that was really nice. And I ended up stacking it and really injuring myself.
Oh.
What do you mean? Sorry, stacking it?
Yeah, so it was like torrential rain. So we ended up not going until a little bit. Yeah.
Sorry.
We ended up not going out till a little bit later until like the rain had stopped. But we were going into Revs de Cuba in Leeds. And a song came on and my friend was in front of us. So I like went to like grab around the waist and like dance my way into the bar with her. But obviously the street where we were stood outside was like sopping wet. It was a smooth walkway to go into Revs de Cuba. Yeah. I just grabbed her, feet went over my head, took her out in some sort of strange wrestling move, and we both just went on the floor.
Oh wow.
And I know. But it was inside, fortunately. But that's why it was so slippy.
Yes.
So yeah, fortunately I have a bit of cushion to land on, but it still very much hurt. I asked her like 2 days later. I was like, I remember taking you out. Are you okay? And she was like, I have no recollection of that whatsoever. And I was like,
probably
okay,
fantastic.
fantastic.
Sign of a great night.
Yeah.
Sign of a very good night.
So Joe, what have you got coming up that you're excited about? Anything you want to?
Oh, I was having to think about. Oh, sorry, I've just knocked the mic.
Too excited, Joe.
Sorry,
Calm
too
down.
excited,
Calm
down.
down.
I am getting a new website made. So I looked at it and I was like, this needs a bit of a revamp. Because at the moment my socials are doing well. I just need to kind of get everything singing from the same hymn sheet now. So I thought I need a new website. So big shout out to Louise and Alex at Rebel who do my website for me. So the new website is going to be more sort of it's going to boost my online presence, sort of give me a better SEO, and then just improve quality of conversation. Because what I'm doing now, I'm going to put my starting prices on there. Because what I get with inquiries, do you ever get this where, hi, how much are you? Okay.
Yes.
Very vague, but like...
What, with like no date, time,
no
venue?
Date, yeah,
God,
exactly, yeah. So I'm just like... So if I put my prices, or just my starting prices start for like a corporate wedding, maybe it might get rid of... And also I get ghosted a lot. As soon as I tell them a price, they're like, I literally get nothing. So I'm like, oh, I'm clearly too expensive for you. So yeah, so I've with that. So again, I just getting that made, so that hopefully should be live soonish. There's
Question.
still, yeah.
Do you think if you're going to have a different price on there for wedding and corporate and whatever, do you think people would wonder why the price is different?
I've always had a bit of a different price for corporate. So like, because weddings you tend to do, because I do a lot more. So like with weddings, the reason why my price is a bit more because I'll do like a daytime, or I'll do an evening, or do ceremony. So
Right, yeah.
that's why the price is always different, because corporate is pretty much evening unless it's like a summer one. But
Yeah, that makes
usually,
sense.
weddings is like because sometimes I do a lot more. So this year I've been booked to a lot of drinks receptions and evening receptions as well. So like, yeah, so that's why I kind of have a different price for weddings than I do for corporates.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, sorry, as you were.
That's all right. No, it's good. It's good. And but yeah, that's what I've sort of got excited coming up, and then just pretty much weddings at the moment. It's just weddings galore, really. So yeah, so mainly, and then got a holiday coming up, going to Spain in 2 weeks on Tuesday. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. Not that I'm counting or anything, but and then but yeah, that's sort of what I've got excited happening. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds very good. What
Fabulous.
about you, Christy?
Just gigging and driving and gigging, really.
I never look forward to driving, but
I know, but that's just kind of what I've got coming up, because I'm staying overnight in Coventry, then I'm staying overnight in Essex, and I've got a gig in Scotland, and they all do seem to be quite far apart. But yeah, I'm not complaining. A while ago, I did mention that I might have been gigging in Egypt, but they never came back to me. But I think that was probably because they were wanting DJ sax and bongos, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, every single week in summer, and they gave us like a month's notice. So it was very unrealistic. The only reason I could have done it was because I'd purposely saved off the bank holiday weekend just for myself. So I was like, well, I'd rather go to bloody Egypt. But so I think I was probably one of the only people who could actually complete that gig. So that never came off. I also got this potential Ibiza giveaway, which was free entry into a nightclub that shall not be named, and two nights and flights in Ibiza. We responded with a date that we wanted to go, and then we got blanked. So now I'm not going away then. So it's all a bit like, meh. However, on bank holiday, I have got like an R&B day party I'm going to go to on the Saturday, and then a Leeds Fest on the Sunday. So I'm still going to have like a music-fueled weekend. And I've got some abroad gigs coming up as well, which
nice.
Very nice.
I'm like, I've put on like an extra 3 days. So it still will be a bit of a holiday.
Oh, nice.
Decent.
So
nice.
I'm looking forward to that, really.
Can you tell us where abroad?
Pisa and Saint-Tropez.
Oh,
Very nice.
very nice.
So I want to go like wine tasting in Pompeii. That's my thing, because the wedding is seeming to become more and more complicated. So I'm just imagining wine tasting in Pompeii, and that'll all be okay then.
Perfect.
So yeah, Callum, what about you?
Well, I've got my sister's wedding coming up on the 18th of August. Of course, I'm playing, charging a very hefty free fee. Free. It is free. And also, I'm doing a speech at a wedding.
Oh my days!
So that'll be fun.
Are you nervous?
Yes, I feel like the only reason to be nervous about anything in life is if you're unprepared, and I am currently unprepared. I do think that I will have it fine, and I think it will go great, but I do think that she's going to regret asking me.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, no, because it's not going to be heartfelt. I'm going to rip her to shreds. No, I'm joking. Jokes. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Oh, and the thing that I do keep forgetting about, I don't know whether it's because I'm a dad now, and my son's birthday was only a week ago. It's my birthday in a week, because there's only 2 weeks between my son and my birthday. So don't have a clue what I'm doing for it yet. I've actually not arranged or thought of anything. I've just left it with Josie, my other half. And I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know if she's arranged or thought about it, to be honest. I think as you get older, I mean, it's great that you've turned another year, but it's like, yeah, all right, I've done this 32 times now. I mean,
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I'm sure it'll be nice. So, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, it will be nice.
Yeah.
So
So,
get you a prezi of some sort.
oh, cheers. You being here is a present enough.
Oh.
My presence is a present.
Yes, your presence is a present. So you're probably, if you're listening, which you would be, because you're like half an hour in, you're probably thinking, this Joe fella, you've spoken quite a bit, but I know nothing about him.
Absolutely nothing.
So here is the moment where we learn all about Joe. So we'll start with how we met.
Yes.
I already knew of your existence
Yes.
because I used to work for an agency where I used to phone you routinely and ask you for your availability, to which you basically never had any.
No.
Because you were always fully booked. I just thought you didn't like me to be no, joking. And then I actually met you at a gig that we were both booked for.
Yes, I do remember this. So, yeah, I was already booked for another gig for an agency, but then that same agency had another gig where they didn't have a sax player turn up. So it was literally just down the road for me. I would have gone past it going home anyway. So I thought, well, I can do it. This is my price. So they were like, okay, fine. Turned up, did one set, and then you turned up.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think I was already there and then you turned up. Yeah. So I was not the other sax player that let them down, by the way. But what happened was, from memory,
Did the venue get in contact with you?
Yes. I think they were so worried that they were not going to have a sax player at all that they decided to just book two. So they were like, let's absolutely make sure we have a sax player.
Yeah.
So we both showed up and ended up doing like a set each.
Yeah, I was just like, I did one, you did one, and then it's just like, fair enough. I only did one set, so I'm like, I'm getting paid anyway. So it's just like, so I got 2 gigs worth. Instead of getting one, I got 2 gigs worth. So I was like, lovely.
Yeah,
Lovely.
Yeah, I was in a similar situation. It was very strange.
It was, but I was going past that. It was literally I'd say down the road 40 minutes. But the other gig I was doing before then had a sound limiter, so I was playing unplugged. So it was nice to actually finish the weekend on a gig where I was coming out of speakers. So it was,
It's always a benefit.
So
Did I actually meet you both on the phone? Did you both work for the same?
I did briefly, only briefly though.
Yeah, so I
then
both
left.
met you.
So we worked for the same agency?
Briefly, when I moved to the Northwest, I did a little bit of work, and then I realised I'm too busy. I can't.
Oh, I didn't actually know that. So that was after I left.
No, you were still working, but then I think I had a brief. I got in there thinking, yeah, this will be fine. I don't have enough time.
all.
Yeah,
I don't know if Joe did it before you did it.
No, he was doing it.
I was the OG.
Yeah, he was doing it, and then I joined on for a bit, and then I realised I don't have enough. There's not enough minutes in the day, and I'm too tired. And I just thought, no, I can't commit to this.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
Christy, I met you actually in person way before the phone because I met you on a.
Was I drunk?
So I met you on the night that you've told everyone about, which you can listen to on episode 1 by clicking the link here. You talked about you drunkenly asking a percussionist, and I was there that night.
Were you?
Gosh. I'd be a bit offended by that, to be honest. Yes, I was.
If I wasn't drunk, I wouldn't have been here. So I was drunk, evidently.
Yeah.
I thought because I thought the first week when I saw a sax player, it wasn't you because my friend was flirting with him. And the next week, I didn't know there was a sax player there. I just saw the drums.
Well, clearly I was memorable.
No, the drums were just overpowering to me. I'm a drummer.
So this is about us, but this section is dedicated to you, Jen.
Sorry, but I will say with Joe, because I think we first started talking because you were trying to give me some gigs. And then when I was getting some private bookings, I did actually end up calling you and you gave me a lot of advice on pricing and stuff like that.
Yes, I did, yes.
And then also that made sense because Joe then wanted to go into, not tutoring, but like supportive.
So I went into, I was just telling Callum this when I arrived here. So I accidentally fell into, so now as well as being a professional musician, I go into colleges, universities, doing public speaking. So I fell into that. So my old uni lecturer, when I was at Newcastle Uni, asked me, would you like to come and talk about what you do, Joe? And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. She said, we'll pay you. I was like, oh my God, you're going to pay me for this just to talk about me? Like, yeah, go on then. So I kind of accidentally fell into that. And then COVID happened. I kind of did a bit more of that, really. So just trying to look at different skill sets, really. So, yeah.
So there's 2 sides to you, really.
Kind of, yes.
There's your saxophone side.
Yes.
And then there's the creative meetup side as well.
Yeah.
So we'll delve into the saxophone side a little bit more first, and then we will go into the creative meetup side. But How did you end up going down the road of doing gigs to dance music in the first place?
So when I first started, my background was in jazz, did all the grades, grade 5, because when I went to uni, they said most of my unis I applied for, they said you need your grades, but my Newcastle were like, it's not a requirement, we just recommend you have it. So I was like, oh, right then. So I did all that. So I started off in jazz orchestras, but before I moved to Newcastle, I was busking. That's how I used to make money when I was younger. So I did a bit of busking, only in the summer, winter, no way. But I met this girl came up saying, oh, my partner makes house music and he's looking for a sax player. Do you want to record some stuff? And I was like, yeah, sure. Because I used to have a great uncle who was a sax player as well. And he said, play everything, Joe. Don't just play jazz. Like, if you get a chance to perform or do anything, just do it. So I just thought, yeah, you know what? Yeah, absolutely. So that's how I discovered house music and started playing house music. So I was kind of had a bit of preparation before I went into club gigs, because I find with a lot of sax players who've got a jazz background, they'll go and do a club or bar gig, and they'll treat it more like a jazz gig, and the feedback won't be great. They're like, oh, I didn't think I was good, and I'm like, I always say, have you got any live clips? And I'm like, and I'll look at it, I'm like, yes, you're doing too much. You're treating it more like a jazz gig, and you're just standing there. You're not interacting. I find. So when I was quite fortunate. I made a lot of my mistakes in a recording studio, so I was able. So when I went into clubs, I was kind of prepared. I mean, I look back at some old videos and I thought, God, do I sound like that? Jeez, but it's probably me just being a bit critical. But
everyone does the same.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Yeah, so I was I kind of went in more. But that's how I fell into the whole dance stuff. But while I was at uni, I did a number of gigs, so jazz gigs, band gigs, club gigs, and then after I left uni, I managed to get a residency at a nightclub, no longer open now. Well, it's no longer called that. It's called House of Smith in Newcastle. So I got my first residency there, and I pretty much just did sax DJ gigs, and then so I started off doing weddings with bands, but then went into the club scene, and now I've kind of gone full circle and went back to weddings, because that sax DJ got very popular sort of 2018 and people started having that at weddings. So they'd see me in a club, they're like, oh, I'm getting married, I want that at my wedding. So so that's how I fell into the whole dance sax scene really, and that's pretty much all I do. I've done some session work where people have asked me to record on original stuff, but it's predominantly sax DJ now what I do. So that's how I kind of fell into that.
And you started that whilst you were at university?
Yeah, so I started gigging in clubs while I was at university in Newcastle. So I saw a sax player. Well, I didn't see him play. He had a sax player, but I think he was on a break, and I was just chatting to him. But I didn't actually, because I got dragged away from my house. My housemate, no, we're going somewhere else. We're not going to stay here. So I didn't actually see him. But the first time I properly saw one was in a club in Barcelona called, oh God, I can't remember the name. But I saw a sax player, and I thought, I want to do that. That looks really cool. Had a few to drink, but from what I can remember,
it's the way that all the best careers are started.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I remember
so much for my career then.
Yeah, I remember I remember just seeing him play, and I thought I want to do that. So that was in just after my first year. So when I got into my second year, I was like, so I just went around all the bars, clubs, and just like, oh, do you need a sax player? Do you need that? So that's how I sort of started, and then sort of built my network in Newcastle in the northeast. While I was at uni, then I went full time after uni, because I was like, I don't really like working for people. Music was all I was good at, and I just thought, well, you know what, I'm just going to go for it really. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you enjoy most about the whole sax DJ thing?
Probably you meet so many different people, the characters you meet, and just
that's also the worst thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. It can be. Yeah, that is the thing.
50-50.
Yeah, I'd say definitely. But you meet different people. You get to go to all these cool, amazing venues, places around the UK, around the world, and it's just really cool. It's just always different. It's always different. It's never the same. That's what I like about it, because that's why I would struggle doing not that there's anything wrong with doing an office job 9 to 5, but just you're doing the same thing, and I feel that just send me crazy really. I like this because it's just always different. You don't know what you're going to expect really. It's the unknown.
On the flip side of that, then, what do you enjoy the least?
Sound limiters.
Sound limiters. Preach.
And we have gone into that a little bit before.
Sound limiters. You've got to plug into our sound system. Like I did one I won't name the venue, but I did one where you've got to go into our sound system. Sounded so tinny. The owner was there and he said, I've spent 30 grand on this. And I'm like, you what? You've spent either you're lying to us or you've been absolutely had your trousers pulled down. It's just like, I was like, there's no way. 30 grand, I'd be like, you'd expect like at least festival style sound system. It's just like, oh my word. I just thought, I mean, it was fine. Like, again, it's stuff we pick up on, but probably people, wedding guests don't. And I mean, I'm someone who really sweats the small stuff. So like, I'm doing a wedding where I've been booked for like a wedding breakfast and evening. And I said to the bride, I'm like, I might not be able to get a second speaker. So before the wedding breakfast, I might have to turn my music off and move my speaker. But she just could not care less. She was like, oh, you're the professional, Joe. You do what you want.
Yeah,
like,
we notice things that they don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She said, I'll be worrying about other things, so don't worry about it. If that's, you do what you need to do. So I was like, okay, fair enough.
You get on by being a perfectionist, don't you? Sorry.
You're right, yeah. I know, I was just going to say, I've been in a venue where the sound system sounded tinny as well. And I looked up and I was like, whoa, these are all like really beautiful Bose speakers. It's because they're barely even on. It's like, why spend 30 grand on these beautiful speakers? Yeah. And then not even turn them on.
And sometimes the staff will mess with the levels. Sometimes one time it's fine, then the next one, like, why does it sound awful? And I'm like, we're just playing about with it. Well, I don't. If you don't know how to use it, don't play about with it. Leave it alone. Yeah. It's just like, but I'd say that is the least favourite part of it, probably. Yes, I'd say, yeah.
So we'll move to the creative meetup now.
Cool.
And this is one of the apart from the amazing experience that you could share through your sax playing, this is one of the main reasons that we wanted to talk to you today as well about the creative meetup and kind of understanding what that's about. And I kind of personally feel like there's a great link to what we do, this podcast, and the creative meetup and what that kind of is as well. So tell us a little bit about what the creative meetup actually is.
Yeah, so the Creative Meetup, I had the idea for it sort of back end of 2023. So David, who does my social media for me, David Intantu, very, very talented man, really great guy. We were looking at ideas and he said, do you want to do maybe like a album launch or do something like put an event on or something? I said, well, I've not written any music for years. I was like, and then I went to a networking event that was for creatives back in 2023, which was run by a guy called Reese Evans, EV Pro. And I really liked that. I thought, this is really good. And I was just kind of pondering ideas. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to put my own creative role, going to put my own networking event on. And that's where the Creative Meetup was born. So 2024 we hosted 3. So I had one which was kind of like a trial run in my hometown where I'm from, which basically my mum and dad and their friends came, and I had 3 guest speakers. So again, just to see what it was like, David came and filmed it, and so we did that, and then we had a second one in Leeds, which you came to.
Yes, I did.
So basically, the venue we were meant to have it on the middle floor. But it was one of the hottest days of the year, so we had to have it on the top. It was on the top floor. I was like, oh God, it's so hot. So we had to have breaks in between. So, we did that. So we had that in Leeds. I'd got the same speakers who spoke at the first one they all came up to Leeds and spoke at that one. And then we had one in Manchester, which was a bit more polished, a bit more. So we had a DJ. So I had my friend Mark J come and Maximum Music, who are now our sponsor as well for it. So they sponsor our events. So big shout out to Mark, Maximum Music. So that was a bit more polished. Again, we had guest speakers, but it was it was just a bit more, it flowed a bit better really. But again, it's early days. It's not always going to be perfect. But again, I'd never done this before. And public speaking as well, I'm better, but I'm still getting used to as well. And I don't get so nervous. But then this year it's just been amazing. So the first one we had this year back in January, which Christy was on the panel for and did really well and was really good.
Oh my God, I was terrified.
It was really good. And that was in the attic in Leeds, and the turnout we got for it was incredible. I underestimated how many, because I was looking at it, I thought, bloody hell, we've sold 80 tickets, and there was literally more than 50 people in the door. And I remember when I was hosting the panel, I was sort of obviously like listening to everyone's answers, like listening to Christy speak and stuff. But in my head, I'm like, oh my God, there's like over 50 people here for something. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like having to pinch myself.
Well, I had the same thing, because when we went to I went to that one in Leeds, the first one, when it was super hot, and obviously you had the guest speakers.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what it was going to be about, so I went over and maybe they were like correct me if I'm wrong, maybe about 15, 20 people.
Yeah, it was about literally. We just did a post on Instagram. We didn't even have an event,
Yeah.
right? Literally just on a whim. We could have had no one turn up at all,
Yeah.
but like literally, we had a good, really good turnout for it. So yeah.
So then you said, "Oh, we're doing another one in Leeds," and I'm thinking maybe would you like to be on the panel? We're not having like guest speakers now. We're going to have asking questions, and then people can all answer them. So my watch is going bloody bonkers.
I thought I could hear something.
Yeah,
What is that noise?
we haven't mentioned her yet. It's Girl on Sax, May Crick, is sending me loads of Instagram messages. But yeah, so you said, "Oh, can you be on the panel?" And I was a bit nervous because, like, put some drumsticks in my hand and I'll perform in front of thousands. Put a microphone in my hand, terrified. But I thought, I'm just going to do it. 15, 20 people, I can do that, I'm fine. And then I turned up and I was like, "Oh, we sold many tickets." And you were like, "Yeah, there's about 80 so far." And I've just felt the colour drain from my face. And the first thing I was like, "Oh, that's so, congratulations." Went straight to the bar, glass of Pinot Grigio, went straight to the back room and was looking at all my flashcards like, oh my God.
So what do you talk about then at the Creative
So
Meetup?
we talk about different subjects. So the current creator economy, what do you think do we need to, so like, do you think AI is going to take our jobs? We did one again in Leeds this year and we talked about education. That went on for a long time because whenever I go to places and people talk about school education, it's not really positive. So again, we were talking about that, and then sort of again, what's their biggest challenge? What advice would you give to your younger self? So doing the panel was good because we got more the audience involved. So when we've had guest speakers, we don't get many questions. Like with the guest panel, we had so many people asking questions as well. Well, sorry, my voice just went up a bit there. We have so many people asking questions. So, but the next one, so our next event is going to be in Liverpool on the 25th of September. I won't tell you what we're going to do, but we're going to do something different we've not done before. So,
okay. So how do we go about buying tickets?
So Eventbrite, we have a page on Eventbrite, and that's got links. So if you go on our Instagram, the Creative Meetup, there's a link to our Eventbrite. You can buy tickets on there.
If I'm correct in thinking, your Instagram is the Creative Meetup _?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been doing my
Hey,
homework.
So is it all funded by ticket sales then?
So yeah, at the start, it was all. I just funded it out of my own pocket, but now we've got Mark who sponsors it, Maximum Music, and then we've got tickets. So tickets there's a little bit where I've had to kind of just dip in a bit, but it's still early days at the moment.
Yeah.
So, but eventually, tickets and sales will fund it eventually, and then we'll get bigger and sort of we'll hopefully put on bigger events. But at the moment, so if this year, because when I was talking to David about doing it, because we thought about maybe going around the country, he said, let's just keep it in Leeds, Manchester and Liverpool, let it grow eventually. And it is slowly starting to grow. So we had our last one last week in Manchester, and that was our best Manchester one to date. That was really, really good turnout. Had to change venue because the original venue decided, we're not going to open on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays now. So yeah, so literally I had to find out through someone else, not the venue, that they had to cancel. But luckily, big shout out to Charlotte at Impossible who sorted us out. So big thank you to that. But yeah, so at the moment, so we've kept it in the north just to slowly let it grow. So Leeds is our best one. We always get a really good number. Even the second one we had in Leeds wasn't as many as the one in January, but we still had at least 50 people through the door. So that's our best one. Manchester, slowly getting there. I'm trying to be just consistent with it at the moment because even though it's prime wedding season, even my friend Harry, who was on the panel for the last one in Manchester, he said to me, you're putting one on during this busy time. And I'm like, well, I just want to keep it consistent. Doesn't matter how many people come through the door. I just want to keep it on people's radar, really. So, because whenever we do put an event on, we do tend to get more following. Because people will post it and that as well. So, so we've had one in Liverpool already. We've got our second one in Liverpool on the 25th of September. So, so slowly it's starting to build, and and it's going to probably take up a lot of time where I'm going to get to a point where I'm probably only going to take a certain amount of gigs, because my goal for next year is to try and have one at least once a month, a certain type of, so we're looking at maybe workshops or collaborations with other events, or just little different things that people can kind of come away from and feel like, I'm glad I went to that. I benefited a lot from that. So,
are you struggling to balance the saxophone life, the sax life, and the
bit personal, Cameron.
Are you struggling to balance the sax life and I'm going to keep saying it, and the Creative Meetup life as well?
Not so much, but I feel it will eventually, because I feel the bigger it gets, it will be hard. So I feel next year I will probably take a certain amount of wedding gigs, certain amount of corporate, certain amount of bar gigs, and then that gives me time to make sure I've got enough time to make sure I'm giving enough attention to the creative meetup, because I've already started planning for next year already now. So I've got dates, I've got what I've got in mind. But again, with these things, you've really got to make sure you book it really far in advance, because booking speakers, booking venues and that, and just, so you've got to, I'd say, just trying to be organised and not letting the gigs get in the way too much as well. So
is it just you that kind of runs it all then?
Just me at the moment. Well, David helps me, but it's more with the filming and a bit of advice. But I've had a guest host. So the last one we had in Liverpool, we had Dina Sonny, who was our guest host. She's a content creator, broadcaster, journalist. She's super talented. So I got someone else to host it last time. So it's just me, but I feel I will eventually start getting people on board. So we got Shauna, who's our photographer, who's great. She's so good. So we're slowly building a team, but I feel, the more it grows, I will probably have to outsource, because it might come a time where I can't do one. I might have to ring up someone saying, can you host it? Can you look after it? I'll give you the banners and just run one when I'm not there or something, because I had loads of inquiries on the day I had my Manchester one. Obviously, I wasn't going to, but it might come to a point where I'm like, oh, that's a good gig. I might have to just be like, can you just hold the fort while I'm away and stuff. So I feel, eventually it will get there. But I think just slowly, just not trying to think too much ahead, sort of one foot in front of the other, really. So, but that's the plan for next year as well. So it's already started planning, but we're hoping to have a couple more at the end of the year, just social events. So just purely nothing, no talking, just like come along, just get together, just a little thank you from me saying thank you for coming, thank you for supporting. So hopefully that one will be in Leeds, one will be in Manchester for the year's out. That's my plan for that,
Christy wants to know, who's the best guest you've ever had?
Who's the best guest?
I never said that, because I know what the answer is. It's moi.
Yes, Christy was amazing. Absolutely, just, brilliant.
Honestly, I was babbling. I got up and there was a sweaty bum print on the seat. I was so nervous. You
smashed it, absolutely smashed it.
So nervous.
You absolutely, it is nerve-wracking. I mean, we had Mike Cunningham on the, who, Mike, who does all the,
Mike.
So he spoke on it, and again, he was like, I'm so nervous. And I was like, mate, that's normal, but you'll be, and he smashed it, absolutely smashed it on the panel. So he was great. He was really good. So
who for you has been the most inspiring to use?
Everyone's
that's such a PC answer. Is there anyone in particular?
He can't say.
I think someone in particular that's made you go, oh, okay. Made you think about things maybe slightly differently, or made you go, oh, okay, never thought about that before.
I think because everyone's different, everyone's got their own story. So I guess I think ones that are really sort of my friend Carl and my friend Sam, because they're recovering, they're sober.
Oh my God, I'm in love with those men.
Yeah, so they were
incredible.
Spoke at
recovering alcoholics.
Yeah, recovering alcohol.
Amazing.
I mean, they've been sober for a good few years now, but again, they've gone through a very tough time, and they're that's why I really wanted to get them involved, because they're just so inspiring, and it kind of, whenever I'm going through a bit of a tough time, I just think, well, they've been through that, if they can get through that. So again, Carl spoke at the last one in Liverpool. Sam couldn't make it because he's just opened up a business in where we're from, in our hometown, so he's a bit preoccupied with that. So, but no, Carl and Sam, they're great, because their stories are very inspiring. But I think everyone's just got their own different story, really. Again, I've got a guy who spoke called Sam. He's 22, but he runs his own videography company, and he's just a ball of energy, like an absolute. He spoke at the Manchester one and last Leeds one, and he's just, the energy is just incredible, like absolutely incredible. And like what he's done he's only 22 or 23. I'm just thinking, God, you're so young. And I don't want to sound like in a patronizing way, but it's just like, again, it's just like, God, I didn't really, I mean, I started going full time at 22, but I didn't have a clue. The knowledge he has at that age, I mean, I didn't have a clue, really. It was just like, wow. And then we had another girl called Katie Bowater, who runs the Young Entrepreneurs Club in Liverpool and Manchester. Again, 22, 23, great businesswoman. Like, it's just, very inspiring what people have done, really. So, we've had all different stories, all very inspiring. But that's why I want them to be involved, because, again, very inspiring. Because sometimes you do feel a bit, but I thought if you come to one of these events, you feel like I've got that sort of, I'm going to go and do it now, really. So that's, yeah. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. What, in terms then of goals, what's the next biggest thing you want to achieve for the Creative Meetup?
Creative Meetup. Basically, put something on that's like almost like a festival kind of thing. So one of our other guest speakers, Simran Whittam, who runs a group called eFormat. It's like a gaming industry kind of event, and he invited me along to one of them. And it was in Beer Keller in Manchester. But again, it was just an all-day thing of just, some of it was interesting, some of it was to do with game. I've not touched the games console, but it was still quite interesting to go and see how these streamers work and stuff. So I want to put something on where it's like almost like a bit of a festival. So something going on all day, different speakers, and then something like on that kind of scale, really. So that's kind of another goal. But again, I feel we'll eventually get there, but it's just more one step at a time as well. Obviously still thinking far ahead, but it's just because it's still quite new putting on events, doing this for me, I've kind of got to sort of walk before I run kind of thing, really. So, but that's what I'd like to do something on a festival style, like scale. Yeah.
Well, you are absolutely smashing it, to be fair.
Oh, thank you.
So what's your Instagram again? The Creative
Meetup _ yes.
_ Everyone go check it out. Go to Liverpool one, go to Leeds one whenever they're on.
Yes.
Can personally recommend.
Yeah.
I've been on both sides of it.
So I have never been to one, and I'm like, right, I'm definitely wanting to go to one of these next that you've got coming up. So yeah, if you want to meet me, I might be there too. But I'm sure you don't, because you're more interested in the Creative Meetup, and I'm not that famous at all.
I want to meet you, Callum.
Yeah, same. I'll meet you, Callum, yes.
So we're going to move forward to our podcast topic. And this is essentially about our biggest challenges that we've had to face kind of in this industry and going through this industry. We've talked already a little bit about just kind of like time struggles and things like that. But Joe, what for you has been your biggest challenge you've had to face?
So my biggest challenge, I'd probably say, and probably same for a lot of people, was COVID. That was tough. That was, but in a weird way, looking back at it now, I think it was definitely a case of you take 2 steps back to take 3 or 4 steps forward, because I learned, it kind of made me appreciate my job more, and it made me realize, I've picked up these skills that I didn't originally have by doing music. So it was good, but in a way it was challenging. Obviously no work, and then I had a few people sort of saying, well, you've had a good time, but now you need to change career now and stuff. And it's just like, no, like I didn't swear, but it's just like, no. And then, I think, and then I was going back to saxophone teaching, which wasn't a bad thing, but it was just kind of learning to adapt, really. Just so like having to do Zoom performances, that was interesting. And then again, but I'd say, COVID, was probably my most challenging time in my career, definitely, because it was just watching your whole career just kind of crumble, really. And then it's just like, oh God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I remember New Year's Eve 2020 going into 2021, I remember sitting at my mum and dad's thinking, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. This is just like, I know they'd started rolling out the vaccine and that, but it was just like, I really thought, I don't know what I'm going to do, really. I really don't. But then eventually, by the time I'd nearly battered my savings, things were starting to, open up private. You were allowed to have 30 people in a garden again, and things were looking like they were going back to normal, and doing sit down parties, because I did a few brunch gigs, but everyone had to sit down, which was a bit weird.
It was just baffling, that
it was, yeah. But
the amount of stuff, once you were sat down you could take your mask off, but then when you stand up to walk around your mask had to go on. Like it just, none of it made any sense.
No, but I mean, to be honest, at the time I was like, I'm back gigging, I'm back in, like, okay, everyone's sat down, but it's just like, I'm just back gigging, and things are slowly getting there, really. But
and then things were mental, weren't they?
Oh,
because everyone was like, my cancelled booking for the last 2 years needs to all be on the same year.
Yes.
Yeah, literally, that's what it was. It was like 2 or 3 years worth of gigs all into one. So like, again, I was very fortunate I didn't overwork myself, but I nearly got to a point where I'm like, oh God, I've taken on too much now. I've taken on bloody hell. Like, cause I remember I did a gig at Revs de Cuba Leeds, and then I had to go down to Kent to do a brunch party. So again, I had to leave early because it was the brunch started at like 1, 2 in the afternoon. So I was like, and then I had to go back up to Newcastle to do a wedding because that was one that was rescheduled. So I was just like, oh God, I'm battered. I'm just like, so in a way it was good to be back, but it just went from 0 to like 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
just literally, which I kind of expected it was going to do, but again, it was just nice to be back. Yeah, I'll take that gig. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. And I'm like, oh God, what have I done? It's like,
Yeah, it was mental. I think I was out the country at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, like in, out, doing everything. And that was a case of running before you could walk, because I feel like you do kind of operate, especially all of us now, at like peak performance at this point, because our body is like a fine-tuned machine, because we're doing it, you know, multiple times a week. But then just to go from nothing to absolute carnage, I think everyone was just burnt out. I don't think it's ever going to be that chaotic again.
No, I don't think it will. No.
I hope not.
No.
What about you, Christy?
We're going to go dark.
Okay. Is it social media?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Biggest challenge we've had to face, I probably will go into this more to a later date. I'm thinking potentially in October.
Okay. What, that we're going to go into it?
Potentially.
Okay.
Because it is the awareness month of it, but probably my relationship. Because for some of you who follow me, I was in a domestic abusive relationship for just under 2 years. And I don't think he listens to this podcast, so I can swear as much as I want about him. No, I'm joking. But that was probably the toughest thing that I've ever had to do. But equally, my career single-handedly, well, not single-handedly, with the help of my parents, which I didn't see that often because I wasn't really allowed to, my career saved my life. Because it was so unpredictable at home, and I didn't know if I was going to be kicked out of the house, or I didn't know, like, bawling my eyes out on the way to gigs and smashing of property and just coercion and abuse in general. I'd then have to go to a wedding, and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. Like, congratulations on your love. And I found that obviously quite tricky, coming from something where I really wanted my love to succeed, and it was all seemed to be my fault that it wasn't, which is part of the dynamic of these types of relationships, that the blame gets shifted onto the victim. But my career saved my life, because no matter how rubbish I felt, it's one of those fake it till you make it things. When you get to this wedding, you've got to snap into Chris Dix mode. High heels go on, hair goes up, let's get the party started, woohoo. And then actually maybe after about 15-20 minutes you suddenly start to enjoy yourself. The act becomes reality, and everyone's having such a good time there because they're all celebrating. So that gave me a little bit of respite, and I could still, you know, I had to get dressed up, put my full face of makeup on and go out, because when I wasn't gigging, I'd sometimes work at the pet shop, and people were starting to get concerned because I'd have, as I mentioned before, I didn't brush my teeth, my hair was a mess, I wasn't wearing makeup, I wasn't wearing a bra, I was turning up in my slippers because I was just going into the office, and a lot of people were passing comment. But my mum's also said, because of my job and the fact that I had to go out, I had to be happy, I had to dress up, I never lost that part of myself because I was forced to do it. So yeah, I'd probably say that was one of the hardest things, and a lot of people didn't know, because obviously social media is fake. You only post the highlights. You don't post about the times when I'm locked out the house, or my phone got drop kicked into my face, or wherever you want to go with it, because it's like, oh my God, look, I'm in Italy, woohoo! Do you know what I mean? So it was hidden a lot from a lot of people.
Well, yeah. I mean, it kind of escaped me. I mean, we spoke a lot before that relationship, and then one particular day, you phoned me, and you were like, "I'm sorry that I've not contacted you and that I've removed you off of."
I had to block you and everything.
I didn't even realise.
He had no goddamn idea.
Oh God, I did.
So I call him up,
really
bawling
I
called up, bawling my eyes out, like, I'm so sorry, I've had to block you, and I know you've probably tried to contact me, and you haven't been able to. And Callum was like, no.
Didn't even realise.
So that's probably my biggest challenge, was trying to get through all of that. But my job and my parents and my friends helped me. I didn't realise there were a few people who obviously did notice certain things, and they were getting a bit nervous.
I laughed that I didn't realise, but actually it's something that I reflected on my own personality, I suppose, more so. Because I was like, wow, no, someone to be going through that and to have removed me off social media for however long you had and not even notice.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, clearly clearly I am. I'm not. I suppose being knowledgeable, or maybe maybe just understanding of the fact that things are going on behind the scenes, and just being a little bit more inquisitive, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on. Like, I think social media, like, you know, again, people like, because I look at my social, like, oh, it's just, your life's just one big holiday, innit? I'm like, nope. No, it's not one big holiday. It's like, so, yeah, they don't really see what's, again, what you see on socials is very different to what's going on behind the scenes sometimes. It's, yeah.
But yeah, I do want to say a massive thank you to not just my job, but the people who actually I was with on my job, one of which being you at one point, when I'd been broken up with again, and the bin bags were by the door, and don't come home tonight and all this crap. And I felt like I couldn't go back to my parents because I wanted them to like him, God knows why. And then I remember I was at a wedding with you and Wes, and I was watching this first dance, and I was just crying my eyes out, thinking I need to sort myself out because I'm going on in 10 minutes. And I was actually with two of the best people who I could have been with, because you're both just being silly and pulling faces. Like, you might not even remember this, but like I think one point
I do actually remember
you were outside
this,
and you were like pulling funny faces through the window and trying to cheer me up and stuff. And yeah, it was a lot of the times when I was away and I was doing abroad gigs when I couldn't necessarily cover it, or something had gone wrong that day and I couldn't cover it, that a lot of people who I was with stepped up. So I thank you for that. And anyone who's listening who, thanks to you guys. But yeah, I'm doing much better now, and I want to do raising awareness on it, hence why I don't mind talking about it on here, hence why I wouldn't mind if we don't get a guest or something in October, then maybe going into that. Because if I've been blessed with a bigger platform, it's so I can use it to raise awareness on a topic that a lot of people just don't know a lot about, don't understand, can't comprehend, unless you've been through it.
But also, I think it's this thing of people try and avoid anything that's kind of negative and jump away from it. So as soon as we like talk about like a really important topic, I mean, let's, without being too political now, but you know, as soon as I say Israel, Gaza, immediately people are like, don't want to know. And it's like, whatever your side is, your point of view, as soon as we bring up that topic, your head's like, nope, shutting down. And it's like, well, we're not educating ourselves here, because we're not allowing ourselves to speak. We're just hearing something that we think is negative, and then that's it. We're done. We don't want to know anymore. And it's again the same people who are like, and I have many conversations with people, because I'm quite politically involved, and I won't really even get started on politics that much with people, because I know people don't really want to talk about it. But as soon as I mention politics, people will go, don't do politics. And I'm like, politics is all around you. Like, all these decisions that are made, they affect you. So the fact that you don't want to talk about it, like I'm not going to be here ridiculing you. It's just an open kind of
just adult conversation.
But people are just like, nope, don't want to know. And I find that quite difficult. And I think, you know, when it comes to that podcast that we have, I think it's so important for the people that we do have that listen to carry on listening. Because if you haven't experienced that, and I hope that people don't, but it's about opening eyes, isn't it, and sending messages. But people have to be open themselves for that conversation, and if you're not open, you can't be educated.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I do think that I've actually had quite a good response when I started talking about it, because the first time I mentioned it was on. I left in 2023, so it would have been October 2023 when my TikTok suddenly started going crazy. You know how the algorithm just knows the buggers. So it was all popping up saying, Abuse Awareness Month. And I just put on about my hair loss, because I probably with stress and, alcohol, substance, smoking, all of that jazz. I was very unhealthy. I lost, my hair was just falling out. So I put on like my hair regrowth journey, because I used to be able to sit on my hair, and then by the end of 2 years with that haircut, it was shoulder length. So I put that on just on a TikTok, but not actually on my main page, to see if people would look. And I got so many messages of people basically being like, I cannot believe that you've actually put that out there. That's so inspiring. I've been through something like that, but I'm nowhere near as brave enough to actually mention anything like it. Someone that we all know, a shining light in the darkness for so many people, including myself. I could never have done what you've done. So it's so much more common. It's one in I think it's 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 women go through this. And then because of that, the more confident I've got with it, and the more, because when I first posted that video, I was crying because it was still fairly fresh. Whereas now I am much more at peace with it. And whenever I do talk about my hair or not brushing my teeth or holding on to, sentimental things, which really you should have been a long time ago, but you are trauma bonded to them. A lot of people, including people who are like, my daughter just moved back in from a relationship like this. It's so nice that you're talking about it. It's giving me a better understanding. So I am really getting a positive response from it. So that's why I'm happy to tell my story, because I am going to swear I fucked with the wrong drummer this time.
What's your response like from men?
They're ashamed and shocked.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my that is very, as a man, it is a shame, because I always say, because people say you look at like Bonnie Blue and all those people, you think, do you worry if you have a daughter like that? And I'm like, well, not so much I'm worried about that. It's more if I have a son who treats puts a girl through what you've been through. That would be my biggest fear if I ever have a son. It's just like, because I've always taught to treat women with respect. Like, well, you wouldn't speak to your mum or your auntie or your cousin, or you wouldn't treat them like that. Why would you treat another human being like that? So it is a shame. Like, that's what I get. I just feel, I hear these stories and I'm just like we're not all men, but I feel as men we do need to speak up. If your friend is saying something that isn't quite appropriate, or you need to say, no, you can't say that, what are you doing, why are you saying that? Like, literally call them out on it. Even if they are your friends or your close friends, don't just like, it's just a joke. Like, no, it's not. It might not be a joke to some people. Like, I just say, if you've got friends who are making rude comments, or their behavior or their attitude toward women isn't really appropriate, call them out on it. Call them out on it, because it's not good. And I hear these stories and I hear what you went through as well. It just does make me angry. It really does make me angry that men can do that. And it's like, because it's embarrassing as a man as well, because we're not all like that. We do like treat women well, but unfortunately there are people out there who don't. It's
in our industry as well. I don't know whether you've maybe can comment on this, Joe, but I don't know if you've ever performed with or been in an environment who are working in our industry, who are males, who have said something that is derogatory towards women, and in that moment, and I've had this happen a couple of times.
You've told this story.
You've told this,
I'm not going to tell that story again, but there's just on a whole, there's been a couple of times where I've had to go, that's a bit of a strange thing to say, isn't it? I'm not sure about that, mate. Not sure whether that's an appropriate thing to say. As gently and friendly as possible, because I don't want to create an issue for myself. But I'm also like, sorry, I'm not going to let that one slide.
No. I've not had it. I mean, sometimes you sort of find, she looks very nice. Just nothing like derogatory. It's just like she looks, but nothing too like. Not where I'm like, I've had to be like, grip my teeth, like, I shouldn't really say that. No, that's a bit wrong. That, not really. No, I've not. I mean, not that I can remember. No, but I've worked with some DJs who might say, she looks really attractive, her. But again, nothing. Just more complimentary kind of way, really. But nothing. Not like what I remember what you said on the last pod. Like, not in that. I've not experienced anything like that. I mean, I've had women say quite derogatory things to me, definitely, and not men so much, but I've had some women say, but I've not experienced anyone I've worked with say, because most of the people I work with are married or in relationships or got kids and that. So, but to be fair, that doesn't stop some people still anyway. But not that I can. Nothing of that level. What you mentioned, I remember in the last pod, not to that level. No.
Yeah. Just in case you're wondering what we're talking about, if you haven't listened back, there was a bit of me that's like, do you know, I'm not even going to tell you. Just try and find it in a podcast because you should be listening to all the podcasts. But essentially, in short, a DJ had said something about a girl that was definitely below the age of 18. That made my skin crawl, and then I reported it.
Kudos.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on, because I feel like we've gone down a ridiculous topic. Not ridiculous, but not the topic that we were originally going down. It's good to have these conversations.
No, it was things that have been a big challenge that we've had to face while still doing our career. And for me, it's been carrying on as normal after the death of my dad, and also then, which was before the death of my dad, but the car crash. I think what it was the acting thing here, where something devastational has happened, and then you rock up to work the day after, and it's actually not just something in our jobs either. This happens in every job, really, that we put on this persona and we go to work, and sometimes going to work helps us get through it, but other times it's also just kind of not helping us deal with the issue that we are facing at the time. And for me, so my dad died on a Sunday, which this is going to sound really weird what I'm going to say, but there is a reason. It was in a way convenient because obviously there was the weekend gigs before it, but I cancelled those because I knew that it was gonna happen because he was really poorly. But convenient in the sense of I then had a week then to kind of recover, digest that news, to then go straight into work the Friday, the Saturday. But when he'd passed, then obviously you've got to get ready for a funeral. And for me, I wasn't taking time off work for that. On the way down from Sheffield to Wales, where my dad's funeral was, I did a gig. And I remember there was, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Avicii with Don't You Worry. Is it a Avicii song? That is Don't You Worry, Child.
There was a time I used to look into my father's eyes.
Yes, that one. And it was I was playing a party, and it was in a mix that I'd created, and it came on, and I was like, I forgot about that.
Who was the DJ?
No one, because it was a mix. I put the mix on for a party, and I just began weeping whilst playing. And this has happened on a couple other songs actually. For other gigs just around the same time, and because it's just that obviously what we do is quite emotional anyway, music, and I guess I just hadn't, and well, it takes time anyway, emotionally digesting something that went wrong, and instead I was just straight back at work. And like I said, that was the same with the car crash. I did a gig, actually, it was a band gig, and I still had a black eye because it was literally like a couple days after the accident. And I showed up to the gig, and I was a bit late, but not late in terms of starting the gig. I was late in terms of the arrival time, but actually I'd managed to set everything up and be ready to start. But the organizer had like this just go at me. And I was like, mate, to be honest, you're lucky I'm even here. I'm surprised I'm alive right now. And that's the thing. I think that for me has been the toughest challenges that I've had to face. Is basically acting. And
just putting on a brave face, because I remember similar. I lost my granddad last year, and I had to do a wedding gig after, and I carried on. Obviously I found out, and then the next day I was doing a wedding, and like I know he would have wanted me to keep going. Like if I'd cancelled, I could feel him just being like, no, go on. But like you just the energy at the end. Like, I remember going again, I had to get a hotel, and I remember just getting back into my hotel room, put my pajamas on. I didn't even clean my teeth or anything. I literally got on the bed, boom, I was out, because obviously finding out he's passed away and then doing a gig,
you just gave everything.
Yeah, my G key had broke as well. I was like, oh God, for God's sake. I was like, managed to get away with it. Like, luckily they didn't notice, but again, it's just some notes I was missing. But again, he just like going through the grief, it's amazing. Just like the energy was just sapped right out of me. It's just like, so yeah, the fact, you go off and just kind of got to carry on in some way. It's like, yeah, it's very draining.
Yeah, very draining indeed. We are going to move past our podcast topics, and we're going to go to our favourite part of the show. My favourite part. I'm saying this like it's everyone's favourite part. It's just
it is
mine.
Everyone's favourite part.
And it's our gig stories. And Joe, I've literally got this, so we've got notes. Obviously, you're probably aware that we have notes. And Joe has written, "We'll reveal live on the pod to hopefully keep the element of surprise." So I have absolutely no idea. Normally, I get like a little hint of what it's going to be, but I normally say, don't tell me too much. But I literally have no idea.
All right then. So I've told.
He's rubbing his hands.
Hey.
This is gonna
Right,
be good.
Okay, right. I hope it is. But yeah, I've told close friends and this story, but I've never told on a podcast. So I will. Exclusive. So I was doing a wedding. This was a few years ago. I can't remember if it was pre-COVID or post-COVID, but it was a while ago. But I was just doing a gig, playing just on the dance floor, doing my usual thing, and then sort of there was a break where obviously the DJ was mixing and I stopped playing. Bloke comes up to me. I'm thinking, he's going to ask for a song in here or something. So, yeah, he sort of comes, oh, mate, that's really good what you're doing. I'm like, oh, thank you. That means a lot, mate. Thank you. I really appreciate that. He goes, my missus really fancies you. I'm like, okay.
Where's this going?
Okay, thank you. I don't really know what to say. I was like, okay, thanks. I mean, I've put my moisturiser on and all that. Like, I was like, and he goes, let me know when you're finished, because let me know when you finish. We're in, because she really wants to sleep with you.
Come off it.
Yeah, she really wants.
Oh my God.
She really wants to sleep with you. I'm like, and he goes, I'm fine with it, but do you mind if I watch? I was like, I've got a girlfriend. I don't think she'd be too pleased. I'm like, I'm just trying to get my words
like,
out.
she can watch too.
I'm like, and he goes, well, she says she can join in as well.
So just to clarify,
Yeah.
this was the groom?
No, it wasn't good.
No,
to guest.
just
a
just
not
a
the groom.
random-
No.
Sorry, I thought it was the bride and the groom.
No. So this was a guest. This is just a guest, and he goes, yeah, I'm fine with it, but do you mind if I watch? I'm like, no, I've got a girlfriend. Well, she says she can join in as well, and I'm like, no, I don't think so. I've got another gig to get to, mate. After this, I've got to go, but I've got to go. But look, have a great night. Like, I just didn't know what to say. I was just like I was like, what the hell?
That is so weird.
I was like, bloody hell. And then I was telling friends, like, oh, that's quite common now. And I'm like, how do you know it's common? I've never been.
I've never had anyone ask that.
No,
Thank
I've never.
God.
I was like, I remember telling my girlfriend, or fiance now, but like his girlfriend at the time, I was telling her about. She's like, no, that did not happen, did it? I was like, yeah. I was just like, what the hell? I was just like, I mean, so yeah, that is my well, I wouldn't say, I don't know if you'd call it a bad gig, but all good, or I don't know, just a very strange gig story.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Very weird.
I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Same. No, we've not had that one yet. But what we have noticed is that most of the gig stories have something weird like that happens. It's normally sexual.
Some sort of proposition.
Yeah. We've
Very
had a few
indecent
propositions.
exposure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exposure? What's it? Not indecent exposure. Indecent proposal.
There's definitely been a lot of indecent exposure.
Oh yeah,
I meant indecent proposal.
But you do get a lot of indecent exposure.
Proposals and exposure.
Yeah.
I've been flashed at multiple times before, and I'm like, I don't want to see. I'm in the middle of working.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to work.
Imagine if you just went to
Trying to feed
Tesco's
my
and just like
family.
lifted your shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Not really the same.
No.
I think the bouncer would get you kicked out.
The
Yeah.
bouncer might enjoy it.
Oh, God. This is a great time to wrap up. Thank you very much,
My pleasure.
Joe,
My
for
pleasure.
coming on to the podcast today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
If you guys want to look at Joe's Facebook or Instagram nowadays, isn't it? It's
Instagram.
Facebook's
I don't
dead.
really use Facebook that much now.
Your Instagram for your personal Instagram, if they want to book you as a sax player.
So
and they don't want to book me.
Yeah. So my Instagram is at I am Joe Reeve. That's my stage name. I'm a bit different. I didn't put sax in my name, so so my Instagram handle is at I am Joe Reeve. Yeah.
Brilliant. And if people want to look at the creative meetup, that is
At the Creative Meetup _.
fantastic. And your next creative meetup is when again?
So the 25th September in Liverpool. I won't reveal to you what we're going to do because we're still in the planning stages.
You've got to follow the page and find out.
Yeah, you follow the page, give us a follow, stay up to date. You can, I think you can, like with YouTube, you can click a notification so you can get notified when. I don't know if you can do that with Instagram, but I think. But yeah, follow the page and you'll find out. Yeah.
Brilliant, amazing. Thank you so much. And we will see you very soon. Thank you to those that have been listening. If you are driving and you're feeling tired,
Please pull over.
please pull over.
Do your star jumps.
Yes, and look after yourselves. Safe traveling.
Safe travelling.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.